Good afternoon and welcome back to Moscow. We've had all sorts of climbing for you this week, a lot more to come, but today it's all about the Youth A climbers. I'm Charlie Bosco, very pleased to say I'm joined this afternoon by Team Slovakia's Vanja Michalkova. I struggled a little bit with your name the first time, but I think my pronunciation, we're getting there, hey?
Yeah, it's good.
And we've got an incredibly strong lineup on both sides. Maybe, some might say, somewhat controversially, stronger even than the juniors, the older category. But you're particularly impressed with two of the two Spanish climbers on the men's side.
Yeah, exactly. I think Alberto Guinness Lopez is more like lead climber. I know he's really strong, but I didn't expect he'll get to the best 6 boulder climbers. And Eneko Carretero Cruz, he just made his first podium this year on the European Youth Cup in lead in Munich. So I'm really impressed that he's in the boulder finals right now.
The climbers are midway through their observation period. 4 boulders, as ever, for them to try, and they get 2 minutes to look at each one en masse. You can see the rest of the men's lineup there. Katsura Konishi, Zach Richardson, Nathan Martin of France, and Sam Avazu of France. I have to say, Sam really looked the standout climber in yesterday's semi-finals. The climbers going in reverse order as ever. Sam qualified highest yesterday, so he climbs last today. A few of the climbers having a good time with our camera. In the,
yeah.
And there we see climbing first, having qualified 6th yesterday. Brooke Rabatu, she was sick for a long time, had a long nervous wait. Lucka Rakovic of Slovenia will follow her out. Laura Rigora, the Italian up-and-coming superstar. Frederica Fell will be 4th out, and then the 2 Japanese climbers who, again, I have to say, yesterday really stood out from the rest. Saki Kikuchi and particularly Futaba Ito. Last year in Innsbruck in the Youth World Championships, Futaba Ito took the title. That was in Youth B. They've moved up to Youth A this year, and she looks just as strong. And Saki Kikuchi, who's just to her left there and will climb 5th, took the bronze medal in Innsbruck, also in Youth B last year. So real pedigree. Just 1 Japanese climber in the men's side of things. 2 French climbers, a Canadian and 2 Spaniards joining him. And there are the women looking at Boulder 3. And we had a really good look at these boulders. Boulder 3 is hard.
Yeah, it looks really bad cramps and blocked with another holds.
Yeah, there's a couple of the women's boulders that I think will see quite a few tops. And then there's 2 that look pretty tough.
They will make the results.
Make the separation.
Yeah.
Men's 3 on the left there, the orange and the yellow holds. It's pretty physical boulder, and the very first move is not easy at all. You've got to jump up from the starting position and catch with the left hand that round yellow hold, while also slapping the right hand on that first triangular volume that's in the light. So the first one that's kind of bleached out by the venue lights, that's the one you're aiming for with the right hand. And the round hold over to the left, the yellow one, you're catching that with the left, but it's pretty terrible everywhere. I think that's a hard move as well.
And it's also quite far as we looked on the boulder. It looks really long jump and bad holds to jump. I'm excited.
Men's 4 on the right there, kind of, the setters call it American style boulder. Powerful.
Powerful, okay. Yeah, it's fun that they give really powerful boulder to the end of competition.
You can see the climbers there. Remember, they can only touch the start holds, so they can't be feeling around on the other holds and seeing what's awaiting them. They can only touch the start holds during the observation. And you can see there the 6 female climbers ready to go. And again, this boulder, we were chatting to Katja Vidmar, one of the route setting team here in Moscow, and she kind of said, oh yeah, you just do the first couple of moves. It doesn't look that easy to traverse across.
As we came to the boulder, it looked like first couple of moves aren't that easy as she told us, but the rest of the boulder looks much harder than the first. So she was right about some part.
Yeah, I think getting to the zone is not going to be easy at all, and then from the zone you can see there it's the zone being the one marked with the brown disc and the pink tape. Really awkward series of moves. You've got to get your left foot up by your hip. Maybe it doesn't make sense right now. When we get a bit closer to the boulder and we watch some of the climbers attempting it, we'll be able to give you a bit more detailed information. But suffice to say, that women's 4 looks absolutely desperate. Men's 4, tough, but in a completely different style. Very powerful. There's a potential 360-degree move where the climbers will swing around and face out to the crowd before they come back left to the top. But a really varied set. Yesterday, I think the route setters felt that the Youth A climbers had a lot of kind of jumpy boulders, and not so much today. But you compete in the Youth A category, and it's just one of those things that this year it seems it's really one of the strongest categories.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was always like this, that the Youth A's are the strongest. I don't know exactly why.
No, it's interesting. Alexei Rubtsov came and tried these boulders apparently.
Really?
Found them pretty hard. He did them all, but didn't flash them all, and I think he was pretty impressed by the standard. A few members of Team France down the front there. Really international feel in the arena here in Moscow. It's beginning to fill up nicely. We are just minutes away. No ties coming out of the semi-final, so we've got 6 men and 6 women. The finals will run next to each other this year in the IFSC. All the bouldering finals in the World Cups have been split. It's been men followed by women, or the other way round. This time it's like it was in years past. We'll have both finals running at the same time. And everyone enjoying the presence of the cameras in the arena. Yeah, so all the climbers will run, the final, excuse me, will run concurrently. Each climber gets 4 minutes flat to attempt each boulder. And is that coordinated dancing from Team New Zealand there? Not very coordinated dancing. We're at the, as you walk into the arena, we're over to the left. All the semi-finals, as you walk into the arena, are on the wall down to the right, so it looks slightly different. It's not the same wall we used for the World Cup back in April, and it's not the same wall that these climbers appeared on in the semi-final. I'm not sure what the delay is. First climber out will be Brooke Rabatou on the men's side. Alberto Jimenez Lopez will be out on the men's. It's, as I mentioned, an incredibly tough set of boulders. I think on the women's side, there's 2 that I think to make the podium you will need to do. There's 2 that look pretty doable by these high standards. 2 that look extremely hard. I think on the men's side,
yeah, there
3 tops might be enough for the men to win it.
For the men, I think so, and for women, like for the girls too.
You think 3 could be enough?
I think so, for the podium.
Okay, we shall see. Brooke is out on the stage. Alberto is out on the stage. They're over on the left to start. Women's 1 starts off on the grey and pink volumes. Now this is interesting. The route setters think that perhaps the easiest way of doing this is to face the crowd to start. But you said, I don't think they'll face the crowd on their first go. They'll try and do it in a more secure way.
Yeah. So we can see Brooke, as I told, but wow, she came out with the idea.
Yeah, she didn't start facing the crowd, but she's facing the crowd now.
Wow. She understood the boulder quite good.
Yeah, and theoretically that hold she went out with her right hand, you want to try and go with your left if you can, so you can then swing around with the right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of hard to picture it. Alberto off to a really good start on the men's side.
Wow, that's really his style.
Yeah, we were focusing on Brooke, but I'm pretty sure that's a flash.
Yeah, I think so. He's really strong in cramps, and this was really his style, I think.
Yeah,
so
he's flashed to the boulder. So Brooke not struggling to get herself established underneath that pink volume.
I think she just tries to jump, like do a double dyno, what isn't the best idea. I think she got to come statically with the one hand and then just swing to another hole.
Yeah, the way the boulder was described to us by Katja Vidmar, you creep your left hand slowly round, and then once the left hand is in place on that small screw-on the left hand end of the left hand grey volume, you can then commit to popping round and slapping the right hand. She's definitely quite happy, I think, with the facing out method.
Yeah. Whoa.
She went from low down that time. It doesn't look especially far from this angle, but when you're on the starting hold, it looks a really long way.
Exactly. As we stood up there, it was really a long move, but it doesn't look so far right now.
This is Brooke with 1:30 left to go. Is she going to try a facing in method?
I think she should stand up, yeah, exactly like this, and go slowly or to the first one. Come on, Brooke.
Now she's got her right hand. What's the method here?
Whoa, great.
Really nice work from Brooke. That's the position you need to get yourself into. So she didn't get the left hand there initially. She went with the right and then did a nice little swap of the hands.
Whoa.
She's up to the zone.
No.
And that second to last volume, the left hand end
like
of it is not very good.
She slipped down with the right hand, and I think the heel hook wasn't the best bit. Maybe toe would be better to stand in there.
So she'll try again. 30 seconds to go. Brooke Rabatou from Boulder, Colorado. So she's going for the same method again. She's going with the right hand, then a hand swap and then slapping out right. Again, safely up to the zone.
Great.
And again, just being spat off. Yeah, just being spat off on that second to last move.
Yeah, it's hard to stand up in there because the left hold isn't that bad when you stand up in it, but when you're under it, I think it isn't that good to do a move from it.
And this was where that second attempt, or second high attempt ended. So Brooke secures the zone, but no top. Remember this year we have had a shift in emphasis in the importance in bouldering scoring. Number of tops is still the most important measurement with which we separate the climbers, but if they're equal on number of tops, it comes down to number of zones. It used to come down to attempts to top. Now it comes down to zones. So that zone, which Brooke got on her fourth attempt, could well be absolutely crucial. Lučka Rakovic now of Slovenia is out, and Eneko Carretero Cruz of Spain is out. And is there a hold-up? What is... I saw an official with his hand up. Oh well, obviously nothing important.
I don't think it's something real bad.
So we barely saw men's one because Alberto was up it so fast. It's a crimpy boulder. It's not especially complex, but there are almost infinite different ways of doing it. But they all seem to be working right now. And I think we could be about to see our second flash in two climbers. He's having to work hard for Eneko, but he gets it. Lučka, meanwhile.
I think she jumped the first one.
Yeah,
the first move.
A more dynamic method. This is tiring though, hanging in that position. She needs to find some way of getting her feet involved, and now she has. So
and now she's better than Brooke, I think. She has a toe in there. The top part looks much harder now than it looked in the observation, or when we looked to the boulders.
So going to be hard to move from that position. I think really you need to get that right hand on top of the volume. So your palms facing down.
Looks like Brooke was better in the move.
We'll get a replay. Here we go. This is Luchka on the lower section. Wow, full commitment. Brilliant accuracy as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Just needs to find a way off the zone. The boulder certainly looks doable. This was one of the two boulders that the route setting team, led by Jackie Godoff, French route setting legend, they certainly felt that this boulder would see a few tops. The men's boulder seen two, both of them flashes. Brooke Rabatou got the zone on this one. Luchka Rakovic so far has just got the zone. She's got just under a minute and 50 seconds to better that.
Wow, that's crazy how she's doing this move.
She's so confident.
Yeah.
That's not really the easiest way of doing that move, but she's so accurate with it, and it's working perfectly.
It's really far, but it doesn't look like when she's doing it.
No. It's a different method entirely this time. The first time she was, let's just have another look at the jump, the start.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the first time she got onto that zone hold, she was over to the right of it. This time she was over to the left. Left certainly looked the more hopeful method. She's got a minute left to find something here. So, jump absolutely sorted. Looks like she's going to come at the zone from the right again.
Wow, now she's good.
Now she should be away.
Yeah, that's the good
That's the
position.
correct method.
Whoa.
So third attempt on this move. And the top looms.
Whoa.
And the top is latched. Great work from Luchka Rakovic. Finds the top with 23 seconds to go. Both boulders been topped already.
Really risky move to the top, and this and the woman's one.
Yeah, you can see her head kind of rocked back. It was just so much effort involved.
Yeah.
So both boulders been topped now. That was her fourth attempt, Luchka Rakovic. Laura Rigora and Katsura Kanishi will be the next two climbers out. Laura, the very talented, promising Italian climber. We see her much more in lead competitions.
I think she has one real big disadvantage while she's so small.
Yeah, even by the standards of youth competition, she is particularly small. Be interesting to see how she takes on this jump. Hasn't held her back in the lead at all. Young Italian climber from Rome. Katsura Kanishi is underway on men's one. Laura Rigora's trying to find a way up to that pink volume. Being that bit shorter, I don't think the jump would be a good option for her, and she's choosing to do this move statically.
Wow, she's standing just in 1 foot hold.
Katsura is absolutely cruising men's one.
Wow, but Laura did it really easily.
Laura Rigora gets that move first time. She's got herself in position to go for the zone now. This move up to the zone isn't especially tough, and she's secured the zone.
Yes.
And Katsura Kanishi, I think, is about to secure the top. He's not. First climber not to flash men's one.
I think he didn't get the top hold really good, but looked really close.
Let's have a look how Laura does this. She needs to somehow reset that right hand. She's trying to push. That's nice work from her. She's trying to push off the zone, and that's a much more comfortable position, not having your hand curled in like it was before. Now she can see the top, and now she's got the top. That's a flash from Laura Rigora. It took her over a minute to climb the boulder, but that was a flash.
this time it was really good for her because she could sit really good on the foothold. Was not falling out of the move.
So Konishi, no, can't get it second go either. So Katsura Konishi struggling with men's one. This was Laura Rigora's top. She looked pretty solid on the top move.
But the great coordination of the body.
Yeah, she released her feet at the perfect time. Katsura got a minute 30 left to find a top. He'll be well aware that this has been flashed by both of the first climbers. So try again now. We haven't had much of a look at men's one because both of the Spanish climbers who were out first got it done so quickly, but it's basically a series of crimps and pinches on these white holds up the blue volumes. And there's lots of different ways of doing it. Each one of the crimps and pinches can be held in a slightly different place.
I think both of the Spanish climbers did put the left foot up on the volume and the slab already, or slab and the not that overhanging part, and he's still having the foot on the lower footholds.
So he's got 30 seconds now. This is something of a surprise, only because the first two climbers were so fast on it.
I think it's also a lot of stress on him. Pushed because I think he might think that they did it so quickly out of the sounds that he can hear in the ISO.
And he's not going to do it. So he got the zone, but he couldn't find the top. Katsura Konishi heads back into isolation without the top. Frederica Fell and Zach Richardson be the next climbers out. Zach Richardson climbed 4th in the semi-final yesterday, and he was in the lead in the standings very early on, and he ended up 3rd. 2 tops for him in the semi-finals yesterday. The 4th climbers out onto this 1st boulder. And here they come. There is Zach Richardson leading the way, and Frederica Fell just behind. Both climbers having a good look at the boulders. Of course, they've had the observation time. It doesn't mean you need to jump straight onto it. It's good to just refresh your memory. Perhaps look for a bit of detail without the distraction of the other climbers. Frederica Fell underway now.
Whoa, to one hand it would be really amazing if she can hold it.
That would be pretty impressive. What's Zach Richardson got? Looked really strong on the powerful boulders yesterday. Are we about to see another flash of men's one? It's not looking under too much stress just yet. Easy as you like.
Whoa, he did it from the lower foothold.
Yeah, very
so
confident.
So it's possible.
Okay, so different methods being employed on men's one, but 3 out of 4 climbers so far have flashed it. Frederica Fell. Oh, not too far off the one-handed attempt.
No, but I think she wanted to get the second one too.
So this has been an interesting boulder because we've seen so many different methods. Laura Rigora was very static, pretty much every move.
Just the top one, but it was easy for her, seemed to be.
And she really doesn't seem to want to go to the underside of the pink volume. She wants to jump, it would seem.
Sometimes you get one idea and you cannot change it because you feel like you're not having enough time to change the beta or so. Then you're just trying one thing, and when you come up with another beta, it's already not so much time left.
Yeah, it's not long, 4 minutes, not only physically but mentally as well, as you say. You've got to have a few attempts before you realise you're wrong, and then you've got to find a new method, and it's not a lot of time.
Whoa, that was close.
Yeah, she's definitely getting closer. I think that's why she's trying the same method, hey, because every time is closer than the time before.
That's the worst when you find beta that isn't the best one, but you feel like it's possible, so you don't want to change it.
Yeah, you can see that right hand is just too low though. She needs to get it on top of that right hand volume. And as it is, she's only touching the bottom part of it. This is a look at one of the earlier attempts. Yeah, so she's not getting on top of that grey volume with the right hand. It needs to be another 10-15 centimetres higher with the right hand. I wonder if she will try a different method with a minute to go. No, she likes that method. She's using a lot of attempts here. Every climber so far before her got the zone at least. Laura Gora flashed it. Luchka Rakovic got the boulder 4th go. Brooke Rabatou only got to the zone, but she did get the zone. Frederica Fell, as it stands, hasn't got the zone.
I think she really could do it with another beta, but she's not thinking about it.
That's a shame. It felt like the attempts stopped getting better.
Yeah.
For the last 3, they were kind of all the same after that.
Yeah, in the beginning she was getting better, but then she had no more power or so. It wasn't that good.
So Saki Kikuchi, the Youth B Bouldering bronze medalist from Innsbruck 2017, and Nathan Martin of France will be the next climbers out. Men's 1, it would seem you need to to have a chance. Katsura Konishi could live to regret not getting number 1 done. Awful long way to go, of course, but 3 out of the first 4 climbers have flashed Boulder 1. Here they come. Saki Kikuchi there on the left. Her compatriot Futaba Ito will be out next, and Nathan's compatriot Sam Avazu will be out next as well. Don't forget, you can get in touch as ever on Twitter. Special hashtag for this event, hashtag IFSC YWCH. Saki Kikuchi not wasting any time. Ditto Nathan. Saki Kikuchi would seem trying to be slightly more static. Now she goes for the jump. She tried to do the hand swap while she was swinging.
As fun as everyone in the women's boulder found another beta. Oh, another flush.
Yeah, Katsura Kanishi could definitely be living to regret not getting number 1 done. We shall see, but it's now been flashed by 4 out of the first 5 climbers. Saki Kikuchi is trying again to put both hands on that left hand hold. As you say, really interesting. Everyone's tried a different method.
But no one did it exactly like Katja said. Sometimes it's unpretendable what the climbers will find out in the boulder.
So 2 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock for Saki Kikuchi. And now she makes it work. So a different method again, as you say. She's going both hands to the left. Now she's up to the zone.
She's holding it really easily.
Yeah, really not struggling to hang on to the zone and just swaps her hand round and looked really smooth on the top half of the boulder, and she gets the top with just over 1.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah. Same style as Lochka did, the last move.
Futaba Ito will be the last female climber out as we watch compatriot Saki Kikuchi. Oof. Still not quite sure how she held that.
She was even not holding the hold with her left hand, she just held the volume and slapped out with the right hand from the hold. I really cannot imagine hanging up there like this.
Futaba Ito and Sam Avazu will be the last climbers out onto this first boulder.
Futaba Ito, Japan, and Sam Avazu,
There's Futaba Ito. I love those moving graphics.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
So both of these two gold medalists in Innsbruck. What can they bring in Moscow? I think most people would have Futaba Ito down as the favourite in the Youth A. Probably the same would be true of Sam Avazu, although you were saying Alberto Gines Lopez is your favourite, but it's going to be close, especially if Sam can get this one done first time. Doesn't look particularly comfortable in that position, but he's found a way. Flash for Sam Avazu.
This boulder was probably too easy for the boys.
Yeah, a little bit. And Futabo's not going to flash women's one.
Not even holding the zone for the first try.
No.
But she was quite in the right way in there.
So she's got 2:45 left, plenty of time. Saki Kikuchi got the top on her fourth go. Futaba Ito just trying to find a way to get herself stood up on those starting holds. There's a lot of strain going through your shoulder if you do it that way. Yeah, she's starting to pop away from the wall.
Yeah, she was already falling out when she was standing up. It was just the last chance to jump up. So she tried, but wasn't really secure.
This is quite surprising. I think, as I say, if most people felt that Futaba Ito was the favourite, and these first moves of just getting established, she seems to be really struggling with on this boulder one. Can't seem to find a position she's happy with.
Or she found the position facing to the crowd.
This looks a bit more hopeful.
Yeah.
So she's got her right hand where her left hand needs to be. How's she going to do the
Whoa.
switch? Completely different method. This is out of the box thinking from Futaba Ito, but it's working.
She has the zone.
That was a completely different method.
Yeah. I would be afraid of hitting my head into the pink one.
She's got 1 minute to go. And she's spat off, moving off from the zone. She's not really looked comfortable on this boulder at all.
Come on.
30 seconds to go. What method will she use this time? Her previous method seemed to work pretty well for her. I think she'll probably try the same again. I think she's going to run out of time though. She's She is going to run out of time, and she's going to run out of attempts. So Futaba Ito, in a big surprise, does not claim a top. So everybody, judges and crowd, all begin to make their way over to the second boulders. And there you can see it, Sam Avazu, Nathan Martin, Zach Richardson, Eneko and Alberto. All flashed the first boulder. Katsura Kanishi got the zone, but no top. And over on the women's side, Laura Gora leading the way after the first boulder. Luchka Rakovic also got it done, as did Saki Kikuchi, but Futaba Ito and Brooke Rabbit could only manage the zone. Frederica fell, nothing for her on that first boulder. So here's Brooke on number 2. This boulder is over to the far right of the stage, and this men's 2, we can see Alberto on, looks absolutely desperate. Really awkward looking boulder.
The women's boulder should, this women's boulder should be the one of the easiest boulders in here. So let's see if there are many flashes.
Yeah, certainly looks one of the easier ones. But that zone is so tenuous. You can see she's literally hanging on by her fingertips with that right hand. But she's got herself established on the upper section of the zone. You can see the top hold already. This could be a flash for Brooke.
Oh no.
She's close. Have our first good look at men's 2. It goes up these dual texture volumes. Where it's yellow, there's high friction. Where it's white, there's no friction at all. So the route set have put the low friction bits right where you want the high friction bits pretty much throughout the boulder. It looks really awkward to climb.
Yeah, Alberto seems to have quite a problem to hold the bonus, to zone.
The zonus, or the bone.
Zonus, bonus. He found a crimp that wasn't meant to use.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, is he going to pop from there? It looks an awful long way to go. He wasn't far off. So Brooke trying again, 2 minutes to go on number 2 for her.
It's probably one of the easiest, but a powerful one, so it can be really hard to put more tries in there, because you're running out of power.
Brooke, I think, might take a little rest there. Come back to that one. 1:30 left for Alberto. Brooke looking solid on that move. The last attempt, she looked like she might still have been a bit tired from the first one. This one looks a lot better again, though. So she's already been to the penultimate hold on the boulder, but slappy up to the zone. Suddenly looked a long way. 1 minute to go. Nice work from Alberto Jimenez Lopez. That's what you're on the fingerboard for.
No.
Couldn't quite hold it. That's quite surprising.
What a body tension and the,
incredible.
the whole body like holding the crimp and the volume. Also Brooke has to be really solid in the moves not to fall off. Well, she found a knee bar.
Slapping up now with the right hand to the zone. Again, it's fingertip stuff from Brooke. And again, she rescues it. She's now on the top of the zone. This will be her last attempt. Slaps out for the left. If you can get that left foot out, there is a tiny, tiny little screw on to use as you jump for the top. She chooses not to use it and got both hands on the top. Couldn't hang on to it. So no top for either climber on the second boulder. Luchka Rakovic out next. Eneko Carretero Cruz out next on men's 2. the army of brushers that we have here. We've got 100 volunteers, I'm told, go to work on the 2 boulders. Here they come. There is Luchka. She got the first boulder on her 4th go. Eneko flashed the first boulder, as did 5 different climbers. You can see there, we're on the right of the stage. The 4th boulders for the men and the women in between the 2 climbers now.
He looks really solid in the move.
He looks very solid up until now. Just got to be careful your feet don't creep onto the low friction part of that hold.
Whoa, he's holding it really easily.
That's 2 boulders, 2 flashes for him. Perfect start to the final. Well, I have to say, that boulder to me looked one that maybe wouldn't see many tops, but he's absolutely cruised it.
Luchka didn't jump to the 2nd volume, she just did statically, but she couldn't put her left heel hook up as she wanted. Yeah, the men's boulder looked like one of the hardest, but Eneko seemed to be really solid in each move and topped it really easily.
So Luchka is now all alone on the stage. Eneko absolutely flying out the blocks here in the men's final.
Now she finds out the way. Yeah, this is the way, the right way. Come in there.
So this is a hard slap up with the right hand now onto the zone. Your hands just slip down a couple of centimeters and it just makes it feel so insecure. But she looks pretty solid up until here. You can see the tiny screw on hold for her feet. I wonder if she even seen it. She's not looking at it.
Yeah, I think she didn't see that one.
Slaps for the top and touches it with the left hand, but can't stay there. Same as Brooke, a good hand on the top. Brooke got both hands on it.
I think it's too long move to come up in there with the right heel hook on the bonus, on the zone. I'm always telling bonus.
It's okay. Okay, minute and a half now. Less, minute and 15 seconds for her. She's taking a pretty long rest here. Yeah, I wonder if she's not seen that tiny foothold. It's really hard to spot.
I think she didn't see it.
You can see it there, just to the left of the white circle. It's a tiny little red hold. Almost blurs in against the orange of the back of the wall. And she's going to have to set off with, I think, with about 30 seconds to go. I think if it's less than that, she won't have much time.
I think she'll run out of time if she can come to the top. But I think she's already quite tired of the tries before. But she seems to be really solid. Oh no.
Famous last words.
Yeah.
So Luchka, no joy for her either. So it'll be Laura Gora and Katsura Kanishi out next. Laura flashed the first boulder. Katsura Kanishi didn't get the first boulder done. He was the only climber not to do it, the only climber not to flash it. And you can see everyone again enjoying the camera. There is Laura Rigora.
it's a really long move for her.
Yeah, I mean, Laura's height definitely counting against it again.
Whoa, I hope it won't be really big disadvantage for her to be so small, because it will be sad if she cannot make the first move just because of her height.
She was by far the best climber on the first boulder, and it looked like that might be tougher for smaller climbers. So if you've got the imagination and the technique and the power, then you can definitely get round it.
Definitely.
Katsura, such an awkward position. I think he was using his nose to hold himself in place there. Now he's onto the crimp. That's the second to last hold. He can just get something out of his left foot, maybe jab his right foot out to the right. Will he need it?
Oh no.
Well, he got a big hand on the top, and Laura's obviously got that start done. She needs to do something with her feet. That is not a comfortable position to hold. She's having to think whilst holding an incredibly tough position. She's got like a gymnast cross.
She has to have it as a side pull for the right hand, not holding the edge.
Katsura Kanishi now, second to last hold. He's already slapped the top with his left hand. Now he slaps it with the left hand and the right and controls it. So it's a top for him.
I think he secured the move with his right heel hook. And now we can see as Laura did the first move. It's amazing.
So this, yeah, let's see how she did it. She went up with the right hand, then the left. Now just needs to pop out with the right hand. So she's been in this position before, but she couldn't figure out what to do with her feet. Is she going to try and swap her hand round?
I think she has to turn the hand for a backhand, for sure. Like
turn the right hand.
Yeah. To come into the right shoulder more, then she can put up the feet and go farther. This was also one of the boulders that Katja tells everyone will top, and it seems to be quite hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm slightly worried about the other two because they look even harder.
Yeah, but those are slabs, so it's
completely different, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Laura slaps that right. Now I think she needs to get her wrist directly underneath her hand. She needs to swap her hand round.
Wow.
She's got the flexibility. 20 seconds to go. Realistically, she's aiming for the zone only here. She's not going to have time to top. So she'll lead with the feet. She's trying a different method. The problem is she's going to get timed out. Time is up for Laura Rigora. So Frederica Fell and Zach Richardson will be out on the mat soon. Zach, flash number one. Frederica Fell, the only climber not to get at least the bonus on the first boulder. So good performance here would come in very handy.
I think she's really strong, but probably she's not in the best shape as we saw in the first boulder, but I don't want to say anything before I see her in the second boulder. Yeah,
let's see how she gets on. She just she persisted with the same method on boulder one. Perhaps a change of approach was needed. Here is Zach Richardson. This boulder's been topped twice. It's been flashed once by Enrico Carretero Cruz. We just saw the end of Frederica Fell's first attempt.
Trying to jump it might be really hard because the volumes are really bad. So I'm interested what Zach comes up with.
Frederica Fell just trying to pop up with that right hand. Decides to do the brushing herself. This is Zach on men's 2.
Whoa.
Knows exactly where he wants the boulder brushed.
Now we can see how hard the boulder is because the guys before seem to do it really easily.
So on women's 2, Frederica Fell, currently in 6th place in this final. Top with the mover up very nicely indeed. So now she's got that move sorted. Trying to find how to go out right with the right hand. Really not getting on with that boulder at all. Richardson underway. Just dab the starting hold. Remember, you don't have to control the starting footholds, you just have to control the starting handhold. So he's perfectly entitled just to dab the start like that. Okay, so now
this seems to be a better position for him.
Yeah, you can see he's straining to stay there. Can he jab his left foot out behind him and use it where his his left knee is?
Whoa, he was not standing at all.
He's definitely getting closer each time. Frederica.
She just wants to make it statically. Oh, again, the last word wasn't best.
Shaking her head in frustration. Zach Richardson, he's got 35 seconds left on men's 2. Ditto Frederica Fell on women's 2. So she's been here plenty of times before. It's about how to get herself out right. And again, her right hand lands, but you can't get much out of it when your hand's at full extension of facing away like that. And I think she might call that a day. She does. And Zach has got the zone there, but he's not going to find a top. Got the zone on his 5th attempt. Hi Kent. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Climbers love having the camera on them, don't they? Everyone's dancing and playing up to the camera. So Saki Kikuchi comes out. Japanese climber. She got the first boulder on her 4th go. Got a flash of the first boulder, as did Sam Avazu, who is yet to come out. Route setters will be hoping that someone can figure out this women's 2. As I say, they felt this was a boulder that would see quite a few tops.
This makes Futaba a chance to come back to the ranking with a quite good result.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Futaba Ito missed out on the first boulder, didn't get it done. 3 minutes left. Interesting talking to the route setting team here for the bouldering, and in previous Youth World Championships, this is the third one I've covered. One thing they do say about the youth climbers compared to the seniors is that the youth climbers aren't maybe as willing to try new methods. He says as Nathan Martin tries a completely different method. So safely up to the zone. Safely up to the penultimate hold on the boulder. There is the top, slaps with the left hand, tenuous, but he's made it work, so top from him. He will join the two tops club. Over 2 minutes left. Yeah, the route setting team was saying that a lot of the youth climbers compared to the senior World Cup athletes, they bang their head against the wall. They try and use the same method over and over again.
Yeah.
And with senior competitors, particularly the more experienced ones, you really see that if something's not working, they think of something else. And they said one thing we struggle with the youth climbers is that if they don't get the method first time, often they just don't get it. They just keep trying what they're trying over and over again. So it just changed the dynamic of the setting slightly.
Yeah, Saki tried to do a double dyno, what would be really hard because there's not an actual hold on the right volume.
Okay, Saki Kikuchi underway. She's got just over a minute left. This is pretty tense stuff. When I walked into the venue, I saw a guy with a t-shirt that said, do your best, forget the rest. It's time for Saki Kikuchi to do that. So here she goes with 40 seconds left. This is an absolutely crucial moment of the final, because Saki Kikuchi did get the first one done, so she's got the opportunity to be the first climber with two tops. If she doesn't do it, nobody is going to finish with two tops after two boulders. It's only for Tabarito to come, and she couldn't do the first boulder. I don't think Saki Kikuchi's going to get this one done.
Yeah, that's crazy how she's trying to jump to the second hole.
Yeah, it's full commitment. It's a pretty poor volume though. It'd be pretty hard to stop yourself. So it'll be Futaba Ito and Sam Avazu climbing next.
From this so-called easy boulder is getting quite a hard problem.
Yeah, it's, as I say, the route setters might be slightly worried. They thought these first two, particularly on the women's side, would see a lot of tops. So far we had 3 tops on the first boulder and none on the second. Futaba Ito with the chance to get her first top on the board. Sam Avazu, perfect start to the final for him. Flash on boulder 1. He gets stuck straight into it. Less than 20 seconds gone. He's already well into his first attempt. It's been flashed, this boulder. It's been done first time. Eneko did it first time. And Sam with a slightly different method. Pinching the zone with his right hand rather than crimping it. Nice and controlled, no problem, up to the penultimate hold.
Seems to be really solid.
Yeah, it's a really solid climb so far from Sam Avazu, and he just about controlled the swing, and he's found the top. Okay, 2 boulders, 2 flashes for him and Eneko.
Only Alberto wasn't that satisfied with the zone hold, and he tried another solution. but seems to be the right way through the zone.
So Futaba trying again on women's 2. We'll be halfway through this final, believe it or not, in 2.5 minutes.
Whoa.
I'm not sure how she's going to pull that one off for Taba. She somehow needs to get her hands facing into the wall. It's definitely one of those moves. It's one thing to get there, it's another thing to stay there. This is a replay we're about to see now of Futaba's first. No, that's Brooke Rabatou. This is Futaba. This is Futaba live, I think. I don't think this is her first attempt. I know. So that was a replay of her first attempt. And this is live. Okay, sorry for the confusion there.
With the double jump, it seems like Sakiguchi and Futaba did come up with the same beta. They probably looked for the boulders together.
Oh, Futaba having to work so hard for that move. When Brooke Rabatou did it, she found a much more efficient way of doing it. Futaba, that took a lot of energy, but it's working. Are we about to see the first and what will be the only top of women's 2? Gets the toe hook. There is the top. Left hand lands.
Oh no!
And the right hand couldn't quite join it. I'm sure she hasn't seen.
Really close.
Yeah, she hasn't seen the foothold, I don't think.
Yeah, probably, but she was quite close also like this, but it turned her around and she couldn't hold the top hold.
I think it's just, if you keep your feet over to the right, it's so hard to hold that top volume. It's sloping down. You need to be kind of directly underneath it, I think.
Yeah.
We'll
I
see.
think with the left hold, it would be much easier because you can like get to the wall really near and be under the hold.
Well, that's really frustrating for Futaba Ito. This was the attempt at the top. You can see a leg swinging past a foothold just there, that tiny red screw on. Chose not to use it or didn't see it, I'm not sure which, but either way, women's 2 goes untopped. So lots of tops on the men's side. Out of 12 attempts, 6 climbers on 2 boulders. We've only had 3 failures to find the top. On the women's side, the exact opposite. We've had 3 tops on 12 attempts, 6 climbers on 2 boulders. So let's see if perhaps you don't need 3 tops to find your way onto the podium. This is Brooke Rabatou, the American climber, getting underway on women's 3. And this boulder, we both commented, looked a lot harder from a distance than it did when you were standing underneath it. It looks possible once you get underneath it, and you're going for a good hold up there on the left.
She read it really good, so this was the right beta.
Yeah, read it perfectly.
There's a blocker in the left crimp, so you cannot match it and go up with left hand from there.
Alberto using the crimp strength for which he's known to find a flash. Alberto, so not a flash, it was his second go apparently. So
Yeah,
second attempt he got it done.
Probably he tried to jump for it.
So there's a lot of a lot of detail on this women's 3 that isn't immediately obvious. So that hold that Brooke has got a left hand on, there's a blocker hold on the lower 2/3 of that, so you can't match it. There is only space for one hand on there. And then further up, the route setters have put another blocker in on another hold. So as I say, there's a few bits of tiny detail that really transform the nature and the difficulty of this women's 3. You can see the blocker there, right above Brooke's head. You've got the red crimp and then the black one bolted onto it, which means that you can't use the best bit of the red crimp and you can't use all of it.
Come on.
1 minute 40 left for Brooke. Right hand landing pretty solidly. It's a pretty poor hold for the right hand, but you're going for a pretty big jug. That one up and left. It's a big hold. It faces out to the left, so you've got to hit it quite specifically, not swing too far left. But it is a good hold. But the right hand that she's launching from is absolutely terrible. Okay, here goes Brooke, trying again. Left hand's there, right hand, frankly, terrible. She's wondering if there's something she could do with her feet. And that's the good hold she's going for. She gets it this time. 40 seconds left. She's got plenty of time to top the boulder. But if she doesn't get it this time, she probably won't have time. So this is the one that's going to count for Brooke.
What
Safely got the zone.
On?
She's just standing on the volume.
No, but before, I think it was just friction of the wall. It looked solid as there was a foothold.
Bit more detail from the root sets here. You can see there's two red holds, and then that's exactly how they want it done. They've used that black screw-on to block off part of the right-hand crimp, and you have to use your thumb. Brooke got the method right, but you just need so much body tension to keep your feet on. Okay, I believe we've got a replay of Alberto on the jump. Let's have a look. That's how you do it. Both hands landed exactly the same time.
Yeah.
I thought you might, when we were looking at the boulder on the mats, I thought you might land with the right hand and then catch with the left.
Yeah, exactly. Like you should just stop the swing with the left hand.
But he was exactly at the same time. Let's have an even closer look. Yeah, they're exactly the same time. So it looked as if the way to do it is right hand, left hand, a split second later, but that was absolute perfection in accuracy and execution. Luchka Rakovic.
I think this is quite Luchka's style.
She's actually the only climber with two zones so far, excuse me, one top and two zones as it stands.
And Echo did the jump in the first try.
So Aneko could, if he gets this done, he's going to have 3 flashes on 3 boulders. Lining it up, looking so strong. 3 flashes, 3 boulders. He's absolutely crushing this Youth A final here in Moscow.
Looks like he's going for the win. Really strong this time. Solid in each move.
So what's Luchka got on number 3? Brooke found the method on her last attempt, and it certainly looked possible, but she just kind of ran out of time, had to rush a little bit more than she would have liked, couldn't quite find the body position she needed. And
that
Luchka,
was quick close.
Yeah, getting a good hold, a good hand on that left hold.
The right crimp on the first black volume is really bad, so the girls cannot fix the move to the jog. So it's a necessary jump.
Got plenty of time though, half the time remaining still. Now she's underway again. Creeping out to the left. So she's got the reasonably good left hand and the poor right hand, and now she's got the jug out to the left with 1:30 left to do something with it.
That's quite a lot of time to top. So she doesn't have to hurry.
So this is, I was about to say, it's a bit of detail from the route setters. There's a tiny little thumb catch you can get your right hand on that just allows you to get your feet settled. She didn't like the look of it though and went without it.
But she had the feet in the right positions. She just didn't grab the toe. But I think it would help her because she would not have to do it so dynamically. It's not a really good crimp in the top hold, so it would help her a lot if she comes there more statically. She can do the move already really easily.
Yeah, she's got that move out to the left. So she's got the zone. She'll go up to the crimp. And then just above that, she could use her right thumb, but she's going straight for the top. And again, she's getting a good hand on it, but she's not able to stay there. I think you want to do that move a little more statically if you can, if possible.
I think she should match the red crimp with the thumb. That would help her to settle down and to make the move.
So it feels a long time since we had a top in the women's competition, because the last one was Saki Kikuchi back on women's 1. Someone needs to find a way on this women's 3. So just above her left hand there, there's a space for a thumb catch. So Laura Agora heading out now. Katsura Konishi also coming out onto the stage. Laura stormed into the final with a flash of number 1. Katsura Konishi got number 2 done.
Whoa, Laura did the jump, I think in the first try.
So this is a flash attempt from both climbers. Katsura is lining up for the final move.
Laura is fixing the move to the zone.
Getting the final move. It's all action. Katsura tops men's 3. Laura Agora choosing to pause on women's 3 before she commits this big move up to the zone. There it is. So now this is the key bit. She's got her right foot out. Now just above that, you can see above and left of her hand there's a black blocking hole. That means she can't match on that crimp, but she can get a thumb. Is she going to use it? Brooke Rabatou used it. Laura Agora doesn't and manages to touch the top hole but not top the boulder. This was Laura getting the jump. Got it first go.
She had a bit of problem to the zone, but she found out a way. There are almost no good footholds in this boulder, so it's really hard to stay in there on the small crimps.
Yeah, you need a lot of body tension.
Yeah, exactly. Also to stop the jump, to come to the zone and to make the last move to the top.
So she's got the jump absolutely sorted now. 1:30 left on the clock. This move up to the zone looks quite a long way for a shorter climber like Laura, but again, she's got it absolutely dialed.
Maybe it would help her to put the left foot up to the volume. Whoa, she managed to change
so that's,
her hands.
yeah, that's where the blocker hold comes in. It means you can't do anything with the top half of that red hold, the right hand red hold. She's lining up for the top. And again, she gets a good hand on it, but not quite good enough.
Yeah, it's really not hold to jump to.
She fancies another go. I think she really feels she can do this move.
She takes no rest. She just goes again for it. There's no more much time left.
Okay, Laura now lining it up. No problems up to the zone. That moves look easier every time she does it. 26 seconds left. She won't have time to get back up here. This is it for Laura Rigora. Now or never. And again, she touches the top hold and isn't able to stay there.
It's really not a double hand jump. Should be more secure.
Frederica Fell heading out now. She doesn't have any tops or zones yet. What can she find on women's 3? Zach Richardson will climb next on the men's side of things. He got a flash of number 1 and he got the zone on Boulder 2. So 5 men top Boulder 1, 4 men top Boulder 2. And so far all 3 have topped Boulder 3. Here is Frederica Fell and Zach Richardson. So Frederica Fell, the latest climbs to try her luck. No tops on the women's 3 yet. Zach Richardson thinking about trying to do that jump statically. Now he decides to go for it. And again, I think the left hand actually landed a split second before the right. Frederica Fell's got that big move out to the left, sorted to the jug. Brilliant early attempts from both climbers. Frederica Fell looking so solid up to the zone. Gets a heel hook in place on the big jug, crosses through the left hand. Top for Zach Richardson. He's having a great final here in Moscow.
Seemed to be really easy for him. Just pull-ups until the top.
So Frederica Fell, are we about to see top number 1 of women's Boulder 3? Again, a bit like Laura Gora, got to the top hole but couldn't figure out how to stay there.
The men's boulder looked much harder than it seems to be for the boys. First jump is really far. It doesn't seem to be when boys are climbing it, but when we were there watching the boulders, it looked really far.
Frederica Fell's got more than 2 minutes remaining. She looked really good on pretty much the whole boulder until that final move. Choosing to take a reasonably long rest. Very solid through these lower moves. Got the jump, no problem. Zone, no problem. Really needs to just find the perfect body position now. Does well to hold that. Her hips are beginning to rotate to the right. And she's in a pretty good position now. She could do with getting something off that left foot. Again, a good hand on the top, and again a bit of frustration for her. 1 minute left for her to find something.
She seems not to find the thumb.
Yeah, nobody's really used that thumb apart from Brooke Rabatou.
Yeah. It's not really easy to find it. The hole is really blocked with the black cramp, and you won't think there is a hole in there. Not even for thumb.
So this will be it. She won't have time for another go. Frederica fell. Will there be a different method employed again? She does well to hold the swing. This is it. Are we going to see our first top of women's 3? We are not. Again, she touches the top hold. And again, she cannot hang on to it. Incredibly tough set of boulders for the women, this.
Exactly. The men's boulders looked hard, but it seems to be not so hard for them. And the women's seem to be not that hard as they are.
Yeah, it's interesting. It gives you some sympathy for the route setters. When we were on the stage, this is not how we read it at all. But the route setters have been surprised. Conditions not ideal here in the arena. You'd have thought in an indoor venue you'd just be able to guarantee really good conditions pretty much all the time. But not really the case. It's quite humid. Don't really seem to control the temperature much. It's always quite warm and hot in here. Conditions far from ideal. Mind you, they're the same conditions that the route setters set him. Here's Saki Kikuchi and Nathan Martin. Saki Kikuchi looking to become the first female climber with 2 tops in today's final in Moscow. Nathan Martin looking to flash this boulder, and does so. The boulder's now been flashed 4 times. Alberto Hines Lopez got it on his 2nd go. Everyone else so far has flashed it. Sam Avazu is still to come. Saki Kikuchi now in position. Had no problem at all with the lower section of this boulder.
Will be quite hard to get out the toe hook right now.
Yeah, she's relying on that toe hook. When she releases it, it's hard not to rotate right. She's done well there. Here is the final move for her. It's a big slap for the top. And again, she's just coming at it with too much speed.
It's really not a hop jump.
2.5 minutes to go. Hands on hips, she can't figure this one out. So we've seen 3 climbers in a row really getting repeatedly close to that top move. You've really got to go with full commitment on that move. It's not a move where you can just slap for the top hold. The route setter was saying when you go for it, you've got to really go for it. She's choosing to take quite a long rest. Not an especially physical final boulder for the women, so she can afford to burn a bit of energy. Now the last boulder looks hard, it's quite tenuous and you'll need some flexibility, but you won't need much in the way of power, particularly on the first half of the women's 4. So Saki Kikuchi can afford to go for this a little bit. Very nonchalant as she moves out to the left on that big hold. No problems up to the zone. She looks completely solid on every move. again opting not to use the thumb catch.
It's a really hidden one.
So she looks a bit closer to the hole this time, but just peels off as she launched for it. Will she try again? 40 seconds to go. I think she will, especially when she knows she can climb that lower section so quickly.
That would be amazing if she can top in 30 seconds.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of moves. You've got to go all the way out to the left and all the way back right. It would put her in a great position if she did, though. She, as I say, would be the first climber with 2 tops. Would put her in an incredibly strong position.
Come on.
Here it is. She's got 1 second to go. She's going to get timed out.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's such a shame for Saki Kikuchi. So Sam Awazu and Futaba Ito next to climb. Men's and women's finals shaping up very differently. Men's final, tops everywhere. Women's final, we've now been 2 full rotations without a top. Saki Kikuchi got the last one, and that was on women's 1, and she's just finished her try on women's 3.
I think it's always better for the climbers to know that the fight is not about the tops, not about the tries on tops, but about the tops. So it depends on how many tops they do, not about how many tries they give in the top.
So you like a final where you don't have so many tops?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe for watching it's better when there are more tops, but for the climbers it's better to know that they don't have to worry about a slip of a foot or so.
Yeah, no, I think if you look at, say, the Tokyo World Cup this year, back in the start of June, there was hardly any tops on the men's side, and it was one of the best finals for a long time. So, yeah, I think you can definitely have a brilliant, brilliant finals without many tops. The way it's shaping up in the women's, if Futaba Ito could top this one, she'd be in an incredibly strong position. As it is, she's down in 5th place. Sam Awazu, no problems with the jump. Futaba Ito, no problem with the swing either. Sam looking absolutely solid here. And topping men's 3, seemingly without a care in the world. That's 3 flashes to him. He moves ahead of Eneko on count back to the semi-final round. If there is a tie, it will come back to count down to the semi-final, and Sam was the highest ranked in that. As we see Futaba Ito move out right, trying to top this elusive women's 3. Asks for the brushes. So over on the men's side, we've got 3 climbers with 3 tops on 3 boulders. That's Sam Awazu, Eneko Carretero Cruz, and Nathan Martin of France. All coming down to the final boulder. Sam Awazu and Eneko Carretero Cruz have not yet fallen off a boulder in this final. Futaba, not too fussed by the swing, it would seem, very comfortable there. And up to the zone solidly enough. Cross through with the left hand easy enough. Looks like she's pretty close this time. Oh, that's the closest one we've seen.
Yeah, I think so. She was already holding it for a while, I think. But it's hard to hold the swing in one hand on the crimp.
She managed to get both hands on that tiny red crimp just below and left of the top.
Also, Laura did, like, she changed and then she changed back.
So my guess would be that Futaba's going to set off, yeah, I was about to say with about a minute to go. And that would mean if she fell early on, then she'd have time for another attempt. If she falls right at the top, I don't think she'll have long enough to get back up there. Could be wrong. Taking a chalk bag with her, which I think is a wise move. There's a lot of moves on this boulder. She's cruising these moves now. She might have time for another go if this doesn't work out, but she'd have to be quick.
Oh no.
Will she go again? I think she'll. 25 seconds to go. She'll need to climb this lower section so quickly. She's just come down. She'll still be out of breath from the last attempt. Jump, no problem. Really got to move now up to the zone. She has just about got time for this move. She's getting plenty of encouragement. She's actually got 5 seconds to go to set herself and go. And she is just short. Futaba Ito gets a big round of applause from the crowd, and that was the closest we saw. Well, interestingly enough, she doesn't have a top. She's got 3 zones. She could still win. Because she could get, if she gets a top and 4 zones, she could. Yeah. It's possible that she could win. Only 3 climbers on the women's side have got a top. They all came on the first boulder. That's Lucka Rakovic, Laura Rigora, and Saki Kikuchi. Futaba Ito, Brooke Rabitu have got 3 zones and 1 zone for Frederica Fell. Over on the men's side, it's tops everywhere you look. Sam Avazu and Eniko Karato Cruz are leading the way. 3 flashes each, and you can see there Futaba Ito. Indeed, Brooke Rabitu could still win the competition. So very tense over on the women's side. Now this men's 4, a very physical prospect.
That's a test from the root setters, who has got still some power at the end of the final.
Alberto Jimenez Lopez, what's he got? He couldn't get number 2 done, and I think it might come back to haunt him. Flash the zone. Brooke Rabitu going well on number 4. For now, we'll focus on Alberto, though, because I think he could be closing in on a flash here. You can see the top. He's got 1 hand. He did have 1 hand. He was feeling around on the top for the perfect spot to hold it.
It's a really bad top hold.
Yeah, I think you gotta try and press underneath it. And there, I think he's found the method he wants to use. He's gonna try and use that left hand to kind of take the force, and then just touch with the right hand, just like that. Flash for him. Brooke onto the zone on women's 4. It's such a tenuous move this. She's got it right though. You got to go up with the left foot as she had. It looks like it might be possible with the right foot, but the route setters say no, you've got to go with the left, so Brooke's got that right. And she's already got the zone, so she's got the zone on all 4 boulders here. Again, she gets her left foot up.
Seems that Katja was right about the beginning.
Yeah,
Brooke did it quite easily.
Yeah, didn't struggle too much with the start. She's got a real battle on this move off the zone. Oh, and she's so close, you can see in her face.
I think she should wait longer in the zone hold and stand up higher, and then come up higher with her hands. Would be easier when she will stand in there solidly.
So just to give you just an idea of how tight this women's final is, Brooke Rabitu doesn't have a top from the first 3 boulders. Who's got a zone on all 3 of the first boulders. She could actually go into the lead here. She'd have 1 top and 4 zones, and that would be enough, albeit with the other 5 climbers still to come, to give it the lead.
That's a really hard coordination move with the toe hook.
That's how you do it. Again, she's taken the chalk bag because she was on the boulder so long last time that it came in very handy. having to work so hard on those volumes. She thinks, why not have another go? 25 seconds left of her Youth A Bouldering final in Moscow. I think she's going to get timed out now, Brooke. 10 seconds to go. She's not going to get it done. I think that first attempt was probably the best one. And Brooke Rabatou finishes with 4 zones, which is a pretty strong score given how tough these boulders have been. Charlie Bosco and Vanda Michalkova live in Moscow. Youth A Bouldering final. And the men's and the women's completely different. The men's all about the tops. There's just tops everywhere. Women's side, we've had 3, and they all came on the first boulder. Luchka Rakovic will be the next climber out. Eniko Careto Cruz in the men's side. Luchka Rakovic could actually win the competition here if she tops this. Because she will have 2 tops and 4 zones, and nobody apart from Futaba Ito. I was only looking at the top 3. If you go Futaba Ito in 5th, could still win.
Yeah.
Okay, forget it. The women's fight. I was looking at the top 3 and only looking at them. Futaba Ito down in 5th could still win it.
And Echo looks really strong again.
Yeah, and Echo can't win it here though, because Sam Avazu may actually beat him on countback. Even if he flashes this, Eniko can't win it here. He may win it, but he can't guarantee it. He's not done all he can do. He's slightly rushed that top move. That's the first time he's fallen off a boulder in this final. So interestingly enough, neither of these finals is going to be decided until after the last climber, because Futaba Ito can win no matter what happens, and Sam Avazu can win.
Yeah, that's true. Looks like really good belt finals this year. Not sure who wins until the end.
That was Janja Garmbrettstar from Luchka Rakovic, the way she kind of peeled off the wall but stayed on it.
Yeah.
So Eniko now on his 2nd attempt on this boulder.
He's under the top again, really quickly.
This time he gets it done. He might end up ruining not getting it the first time. Will it cost him? We shall see.
Luchka getting up the left foot.
So Luchka finding a pretty comfortable position. She's able to chalk up, blow on her hands, have a rethink. She needs to get her left foot up. Got to get her left foot basically the same height as her waist.
Oh, and she found a knee bar. That's a good thing. To rest a little bit, but now she has to stand up really high. Oh, she came back to the position.
Let's look at the scores again. She would win. I take it all back, Luchka Rakovic. If she can find a top, because she'd have 2 tops and 4 zones. God, it's tight, this women's final. She's got a minute left if she wants to find one. She looks tired, I can see why.
There's just one more climber that can be better than her. It's Futaba. So it means a sure podium for her.
So it is still there to play for. I don't know about you guys at home. I've got sweaty palms watching this. We're in the arena. It's been I can't remember a final in youth or senior competitions with so few tops. Maybe casting my mind back. Certainly 3 tops at this stage across all of 6 climbers.
Yeah.
Maybe some sort of a record. Someone out there? Can anyone have a look through the records?
I'm trying to look back to all of the finals I have watched, but it's a really few tops.
So here comes Laura Rigora, Katsura Kanishi as well on the men's side. Where's Katsura? Let's have a look for his score. He's currently down in 6th place. He's not going to win the competition. He can't catch Eneko. Eneko ended up with 4 tops requiring 5 attempts, obviously 4 zones as well. Got the 4 zones in 4 attempts. So Laura finds that toe catch nicely.
She seems to be perfectly in the position. Perfect height for this boulder.
Getting plenty of encouragement. Team Italy, a vocal bunch. And there she is up to the zone. So where's Laura Rigora? She could end up with 2 tops and 3 zones, at which time attempts could be crucial. Katsura, I think, is about to top men's 1. He just needs to figure out that he needs to push underneath that volume. Laura Rigora lining up the top here. She's got one hand on it. Can she free up her other hand? She can. Laura Rigora. That's going to be 2 tops and 3 zones. She can't believe it. She flashed Boulder 1. She got off to an amazing start. And Laura Rigora has finally found another top in the women's competition. She goes into 1st place with 2 tops and 3 zones. And she is not going to be caught, because if Saki Kikuchi does it, she'll still not be able to catch Laura due to number of attempts.
Exactly.
So Laura Rigora.
But Futaba is still in the game. She doesn't look like, but she's 5th.
Yeah, she can't win. She can't match Laura's 2 tops.
Yeah, but she
can certainly bump up the order for sure.
Come to the podium.
Yeah, she could move herself up into 2nd actually for Taba, but nobody is going to catch Laura Rigora. She's got 2 tops and 3 zones. Even if Saki Kikuchi flashes the boulder, she'll also have 2 tops and 3 zones, but she'll have needed too many attempts to get them. So here is Zach Richardson. Said it earlier on, he had a brilliant day in the semi-finals yesterday. Climbed early on, had a long wait. But his long, nervous wait, watching everyone else climb, was rewarded when he came out of the semi-final in 3rd place. He's currently in 6th in this final. Could move himself up, depending on attempts, could move himself up onto a very, very provisional podium spot. Given how many tops there have been in this men's final, he wouldn't want to take anything for granted, but all he can do is top this boulder, see where he ends up.
And Freddie holds the coordination move.
Zach Richardson heading out left and just lost his feet and couldn't quite recover. Once you start swinging on holds that pad, you're not going to get your feet back on. Got plenty of time though, more than 2.5 minutes remaining. Frederica Fell, also currently in 6th place in this final. Top could move her well up the order. Could actually again move herself onto into a potential third place, or provisional third place, I should say. And it's looking pretty hopeful.
And she grabs the top. Whoa!
Top from Frederica Fell. She will move up to third place as it stands, with Saki Kikuchi, who was in third place, still to come.
This final comes up with always another result after every climber. I would never say that Frederica from the 6th place after three boulders could come to the 3rd place, but it's exactly like that.
So Zach Richardson now, unusually in this final, we've got the male athlete left out, our female athlete already back in isolation. Generally it's been the other way around, the men have been topping everything in sight. Zach Richardson got 2 tops in the final so far. He's got a minute to find a third.
Come on, Zach. Come on. You know the way. Do it, man. Finish it. Yes,
So possibly the last thing the climbers wanted to see after a tough semi-final round yesterday and 3 hard boulders today. Very physical, powerful men's 4.
Slope down from the right hold.
Yeah, again, his feet are swinging out left, and you've got to stay to the right of that volume. The only way to get anything out of that volume is to stay right of it.
I think all of the climbers before had put their feet first to the left and then went to the move to the left.
So Zach decides enough is enough. He had about 10 seconds left, no point having another go. So he's going to finish in 6th place. And next out, Martin. Now, where's he up to? So he could, if he flashes the boulder, he'll go into 1st place. He will match. No, he won't. Sorry, he won't match the. He will beat the score of Eneko on attempts for zone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, now I see.
It's getting tight, this.
Yeah. I've lost a bit in the scores.
We won't go there for now. Sam, it's all in Sam Amazu's hands, basically. Not often we see a countback being employed in bouldering finals, but could well come down to that today. After Martin, no apologies, he required 2 attempts to get the zone, so he can't move up into 1st place. He can definitely move himself up into a very comfortable 2nd, though. So we've got Saki Kikuchi here. She could match Laura Agora's 2 tops and 3 zones.
Wow,
she'll miss out on attempts.
Another beta for the static move without toe hooking.
Martin looking super strong as he goes out right. Such contrasting styles for the last boulders. You can see Saki Kikuchi pausing, chalking up, thinking, not really having to work too hard physically, and the men just having to give it everything. It's an absolute burl fest, this last men's boulder. Martin just needs to maybe somehow get himself a bit lower. It's counterintuitive in bouldering to go lower.
He needs to sit on the foothold.
Yeah, he needs to get himself under so he can push underneath the volume. He might be able to hold it that way. Now he figures it out, and now he gets the top. So Saki Kikuchi pulls back on. 2 minutes to go for her. Yeah, Nathan Martin is now in second place. He's got 4 tops as well. It's coming down to attempts to zones, first and second on the men's side right now.
Saki Kikuchi repeating her beta from the first try.
Again, she's got plenty of time to think about it. 1 minute 15 left. It's a relatively comfortable position you can get yourself into under those 3 orange volumes.
Luchka Rakovec had found a really good knee bar in there. Oh, she switched her feet in there.
Incredible coordination required, and she was nearly rewarded. It looked as if she went a bit too quickly there, didn't quite get set for that move. She's going to have another go.
All of the other girls did it statically from the holding the orange volume as an underclean. But she seemed to have it already.
So
she already really knows what to do.
Yeah, she hasn't got time to pause. She perhaps doesn't need to anyway because she knows the method, and nearly nails that foot swap again. It requires amazing coordination, but she just loses her feet, perhaps slightly rushing, aware of the time. And she's currently in 3rd place. So for Taba Ito, if she gets the boulder done pretty quickly, she will move up into 2nd place. If she tops it, even if she takes 25 goes, if she tops it, she'll get onto the podium. Currently down to 6th. This women's final suddenly just absolutely coming to life on this 4th boulder.
Laura Rogala is already the Youth A world champion.
She is, but Futaba Ito is currently 6th.
2 tops.
Yeah, Futaba Ito is currently 6th. She could be 2nd 4 minutes from now. Sam Avazu, meanwhile, he's gunning for the win. It's equally tight on the men's side, albeit in a very different way.
If he flashes, he's
if he flashes,
absolutely
he wins.
The winner.
If he flashes the zone but gets the boulder on his 2nd go, gets the top on his 2nd go, he's also the winner because he wins on count back to semi-final. Yeah. But it's it's so
not
tight.
that what we want to see.
It's not really.
Counting back on the semis.
But it is tense. So let's keep an eye on Sam Avazu.
He's not using the foothold.
Sam Avazu falls on his 1st attempt. Now, did he get the zone?
Yeah, he got the zone in the 1st.
Something so close is.
But he didn't use the foothold. I don't know why.
I'm not sure he was awarded that zone. Could be absolutely crucial. For Taba Ito, that was a 2nd attempt, I've just been told. Yeah, I'm not sure Sama was awarded the zone there, actually. It's not coming up on our scores, and that could be absolutely crucial in the overall standings. Taba Ito on the left there, she can make her way onto the podium. She could end up in 2nd place, attempts depending. We're trying to watch both climbers. I believe that's for Taba's 3rd attempt. Either way, attempts won't matter. If she tops the boulder, she'll get it onto the podium.
Sam did the jump again. He still is not using the foothold.
So he's powering his way up this boulder. Will it be enough? We await the verdict of the judges. Needs to, again, get himself nice and low down so he can press underneath that volume. He's got the top, Sam Avazu. Initially it showed him that he got the zone on his second attempt. Our scores have now changed. He's been awarded the zone on his first go.
So he's the winner.
If the scores are correct as we're having them, then Sam Avazu is the winner.
Futaba did the move. She got the zone.
So this is Futaba Ito. Sam Avazu has now been given the zone on his first attempt and the top on his second attempt, and that is enough to win. He initially, when the scores came up, was given the zone as on his second attempt, which wouldn't have been enough to win. Futaba Ito, again, will confirm the number of attempts, but she has topped the boulder. She's going to be on the podium. Sam Avazu has moved up into first place. It's actually on count back to the semi-final result. So let's have a look at his first fall. I awarded the zone. As I say, our scores initially said he hadn't on this attempt. This was his first attempt, and it was crucial that he got the zone on this first go. Yeah, so he had got there.
Yeah, he had to grab the hold to get to the ride. He just slept off.
So that was it. He did get the zone on the first go, but it was very confusing because our scores came up and said he got it on the second go.
Yeah.
Anyway, everything has been corrected. Thankfully, the match is over.
Yeah.
But sadly, an amazing final is over. It's been won by Laura Rigora on the women's side and Sam Avazu on the men's. There are the results. They have been corrected, and Sam Avazu is the champion. He's got the same score in the final as Eneko Kareto Cruz, but he wins on count back to the semi-final result, also with 4 tops, and again attempts on zone being absolutely crucial in the final standings. Nathan Martin makes up the rest of the podium, and everybody can breathe a sigh of relief because what a final that was. Over on the women's side, Laura Rigora wins. She's the only climber with 2 tops. Luchka Rakovic comes second, and Futaba Ito with that top on number 4 finds a way onto the podium. Well, with the sweaty palms and heart rates finally beginning to calm down, we can say goodbye. But Vanda, thank you very much. What a final to join me for. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
A fantastic final. We will be bringing you the podiums, but that's all from us in the commentary box. I will see you in less than half an hour for the Speed Final Juniors. See you then. Thank you for watching.